Well, proud of our club for competing as hard as we did, being down 5-1 after 4 innings. Got ourselves back in the ball game in the 6th. Logan Davison with a 3-run homer to make it 5-4, and then in the 9th inning with 1 out, 2 strikes, Chris Williams sac fly. I think it was a Roman single that put the tying run on, and then Seth Beer had some tough luck, hit some balls hard, hit a line drive to right field to be able to move him over, and then Chris with the sac fly to tie it. Our bullpen threw 7 2/3 scoreless innings, which was unbelievable. Bullpen did an amazing job, and there in the 11th inning, Reed with a 2-strike single. Chris Williams executed a hit and run to get him to third base, and then Rudy Cox, the leader of our ball club, 5th-year senior, with the walk-off single to come from behind and win the game. And it's just, again, as a coach, I don't know if you can be more proud of a team. I don't know what else, I can say than that. I mean, what else can I ask for? It's just, we just seem to find a way. We're down by 4 runs, and back half of the game, we just find a way to get it done. Guys keep stepping up on the mound, and, we had our chances earlier in the 8th. We had bases loaded, nobody out, and, couldn't get it done in that situation. And honestly, that may be a good thing for us, to fail in that situation and learn from that, so that when we're in that situation again, we'll have a little bit of a better plan. But overall, just extremely competitive. The back half of the game from our bullpen, and we found a way to get it done against a Charleston Southern team that I thought really, really competed tonight and played a very good baseball game, and very fortunate to win.
Coach, the decision to insert Cromwell there at third base, obviously you didn't know that you'd come up in the 2 spots that you did in the game, but just what was behind that decision?
Well, they had the left-hander in there at the time, and wanted to give Weston Jackson. We were in the 7th inning at that point, so you don't know at that point how many more opportunities you may get. We were down by 1 run. Bird represented a tying run. Weston Jackson's been really good off the bench for us, so I wanted to give him an opportunity versus the left-hander to see what he could do. If he reaches base right there, he represents the tying run, or if he runs into a ball, he's got some power. And he was actually putting together, pretty good at bat. He chased a breaking ball down there, but that was the reasoning behind it. Was at the time he represented a tying run, and I wanted to put the best right-handed hitter that I had in the dugout up in that situation versus the left-hander.
Down 5-1, I think it was. You got the guys together in the dugout and gave them one of those speeches that you've done a couple of times this year. What did you say, and how did you like the way they responded?
Well, they responded. I think that the worst thing that a baseball team or a group of young men can do is when they're behind is feel the pressure. Is try to do too much. When the heart rate starts to get higher because you're down and you feel that anxiety and pressure, you got to take a step back. And hopefully they listen to, kind of my message to them all the time, which is embrace the pressure. We eat pressure like candy. That's what I tell them. We're gonna embrace pressure and enjoy those moments where, at the end of the day, it's baseball, and you just got to compete. And the bottom line is you got to compete. So that's all I told them, is that I believed in them. I know they believed in themselves. We got to slow the game down. I think their starting pitcher at that point was pitching at such a fast tempo that our guys really couldn't get set in the box and time him up and hit him, even though he wasn't throwing very hard. His pitches were getting on us because he was quick pitching so much. Every time he'd get to sign, he went right into his delivery. Really didn't give our hitters a lot of time to get ready and to get comfortable. So I just try to tell them to slow the game down, to relax, put together some good at-bats, and somebody's going to step up. We're going to find a way to get it done. But we just got to embrace the pressure, you got to be you want to be the guy with runners on base. You got to believe that you're the guy that's going to get it done. And Davidson in the 6th inning, stepped up and popped one out of there to put us right back in it. And when he did that, I think the bullpen felt like if we can keep our guys in the game, somebody's going to step up offensively and get it done.
Used a lot of your bullpen today. Good week to have a Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, really good, really good. And that was, why we were able to extend Hennessy some. That's why we were able to extend Riley Gilliam some. He threw 2 1/3. We couldn't have thrown him any more than we did. We were only going to let him go right at about 40-something pitches because we want to make sure that he's ready to pitch out of the pen on Saturday night. But, yeah, we are fortunate in that regard. I don't know if we'd have done anything differently, though, because we embrace every game, and, every game's important to us. We probably would have tried to do the same thing to win this game, but and worry about Florida State when we get there. But it definitely does help to give us that extra day to let our bullpen rest and recover and be ready for Saturday.
Speaking of Florida State, what do you want to see your guys do on such a big road series? You haven't had a really big game like this on the road in a while. What is your mindset going into this game?
Well, Florida State's a very talented team. I mean, they were preseason #1 in a couple different polls. So there were, obviously there's very high expectations at Florida State. There always has been. There always will be. Florida State is one of the most well-coached teams in the country. To beat Florida State, you have to execute pitches. You got to pound strikes. And, that's one of the ballparks in the country where they're going to pack it out. There's going to be a lot of people rooting against the Tigers this weekend. So it's going to be a pressure-packed, high-intensity series. There's going to be a high sense of urgency on their part. I know their season hasn't went probably the way they expected it to up to this point. They know how critical this series is for them. So they're going to be ready for us, and I know they're going to play with a high sense of urgency and are going to compete like crazy to try to win a series. At home, it's a tough place to play. So there's a lot of things stacked against us, but I would never bet against my club as competitive as they are. And I know this, we will be ready to play in Tallahassee this weekend. Our guys will be ready to compete. But we got to play good baseball. We got to play clean baseball because the Noles are very well coached. They execute very well. They've got a great pitching staff, and they've got some hitters that can swing the bat. So it's a tough place to play. It's a heck of a challenge for us on the road against a ranked opponent. But I know our guys will be ready to compete come Saturday.
And with Charlie going on the first game, he's been so good this year. Just how big a confidence lift does it give this team to know what he can do on Saturday?
Well, when you've got a true #1, that's always a good thing because it's not often that even though, you look at the teams, whether it's the ACC or anywhere else, there's still not a lot of what I would say true Friday night guys out there. And I think Charlie's a true Friday night guy. I mean, he's a true Friday guy. He's a true #1. So, he's going to match up against anybody in the country and give us a chance to win. He's going to throw up some zeros. So he's been very, very good for us. I know our team has the utmost confidence in Charlie in Game 1, and we most certainly have a lot of confidence in Eubanks and Crawl too, and I mean, you've seen what our bullpen is capable of. We've got a lot of confidence in our staff, and it all starts with Charlie. So hopefully he can continue to pitch the way he has in Games 1 for us, give our offense a chance to find a way to score some runs against a really good pitching staff that the Seminoles have.
Coach, that catch by Wharton and right against the wall, I mean, how nice is it to have so many guys that you can rotate in and not have any drop off defensively or at the plate?
Yeah, it's just amazing. Again, sometimes it just doesn't hit you as a coach until the next day or a couple days, or sometimes even when the season's over. I mean, you just kind of look back at just some of the things that your team did, and I mean, you look at what Pender, did this past weekend. Look at what Andrew Cox has done at first base. I mean, Andrew Cox, in my opinion, is probably the most improved defender on our team. I mean, he is a plus defensive first baseman, and he has saved us. Made a great play tonight in the hole, laid out, made a really nice play. But his defense has been phenomenal. Drew Wharton, robs a homer. I haven't seen stuff like that in my career. Where it seems like somebody steps up and makes a really great play for us to help us win a ball game every day. And it's just a special group of kids. I mean, it's fun to sit in the dugout and coach these guys because, even when you're down, you just feel like somehow, some way they're going to get it done. They really believe in each other and what they can do.